like Arts and Crafts Day at BleepinJeep headquarters. We're getting the truss mounted up here. I don't know if anybody makes a truss for this fusion housing, but either way, it's a completely custom axle with custom length tubes and everything. So what we're doing is getting this truss mounted as best we can, and then I've made a little template here out of paper, and then I'm going to cut that out of 1/4 inch, and then we'll weld it into place and make this look like it was supposed to fit. And then over on this side, I just cut out a little bit there to make it perfect, and then nobody will be able to tell that this isn't the right truss for the right axle or the right axle for the right truss. But either way, it's going to be awesome. Saturday. On Saturday, I try to spend time with family or doing things around the house, and my wife and I made this a long time ago and we never got it framed, so I think I'm going to surprise her, make a frame for this and hang it up somewhere. That's my project. You like it?
Yeah, it's nice. I love it. It looks great. You did a frame and everything. That looks great. Are you recording me? Yeah. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do we have to record everything? Lord. I love it.
You like this?
Ooh, we're so fancy.
So fancy.
It looks good. I love it. You did a great job.
Okay, so we got the whole truss welded to the axle tube, just not the cast here, and we did that pretty much without getting anything over 100 degrees. But to weld to the cast, I want to heat that up a little bit, and we're at a fine line though, because we have the axle seals in here, which I don't feel like pulling. If we melt them, we'll go ahead and pull them, but I want to try to heat this up enough to weld to it without melting the seals at the same time. So I'm going to have Josh heat it up, and then I'll weld right behind that, and then we're going to peen the weld with this. So what that does is just relieve the stress in the metal while it's still hot. Make sense?
Should work.
I hope so. Good enough. Okay, now that sucker's pretty hot. We're gonna cover that up and slow roast it for a few hours until it cools. Got any baking tips?
Don't get welding blanket in your face.
Oh.
Sing a song.
Ready?
Yep.
Bring it out more.
Okay.
Go that way. Put that. Okay. We're blacksmiths, honey.
Duh.
Continuing on with the sliders for the skid plate, as you can see, we have it off the Jeep. And right now, just making some end caps to cover that up. You'll never see it, and it's not really structural, but trying to keep dirt and water out of there to keep it from rusting out. The reason we didn't weld these on off the Jeep, where it would have been a lot easier, is because the frame has a curve in it, and I don't know if you can see that skid plate has a curve in it. If we would have welded these on off of the Jeep, it would have flattened this out, and these bolts would have had a really hard time sucking it back in.
'Cause I've had this Royal Crown soda cooler for probably 10 years, and I had it in my basement. I had a top on it, and it was a ping pong table. The top kind of matched. I made it, and we've since rearranged our basement. I put this thing on Facebook Marketplace, and it just no interest whatsoever. So instead of just throwing it away, I figured I would take it and cut it up and use it as a wall ornament. So I'm going to cut the front off. It's actually pretty cool because it's got logos on all four sides. It even still has the cap collector right here, which is pretty rare for these. I thought about making a sink out of it, but it just won't fit because it's a little too wide for the space I have. So yeah, let's get this thing cut apart. I know that you guys are going to be like, oh, but you're a Dr. Pepper fan. I am, but I don't think Dr. Pepper was around. At least they don't have a lot of old stuff like this. It's really hard to find, and if you do, it's super expensive. I got this at a flea market a long time ago for probably, I think, $300 right now. I can't even give it away, so.
You sure you can handle? Okay. We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight check. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Took the Atlas out because it's had a persistent fluid leak, and what's happening is the shaft here, this goes into the transmission, and there's supposed to be a seal. Well, this shaft doesn't stick out far enough. It just barely contacts that seal. So he's had a transmission fluid leak in this for years now, and it's not the seal. We changed the seal, and this just doesn't stick out far enough. So per an advanced adapters post, they said just to put RTV all around that and let it fill with fluid, and it won't hurt anything. So that's what's happening.
Oh, this is gonna be so awesome.
Oh, yeah? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Oh gosh. Careful. I'm stuck. Oh yeah. Look at that. Okay. Alright, check it out. Hope says I overcomplicate things, but I think this is worth it. Oh, what do you think that's for? Oh, You want kind of mood lighting? Oh. You want bright lighting? Oh. Perfect. What do you think, babe?
I think you're on deck.
I like it.
I like it too. You're so fancy.
Alright guys, check it out. We got the diaper on for the front axle. Now I'm going to weld this up. What this actually is not a diaper. It holds the ram. So your PSC ram sits in here. That's what steers the knuckles and the wheels. But it also acts as like a skid plate, like a skid. I guess if you ran into a rock or something, you could kind of push your way over with that, but it also protects everything and protects the ram too. So I'm gonna weld this all up. We modified it just slightly because this axle, the chunk, is in a little different spot than it typically would be, but otherwise going together nice. Check this out, guys. So now we've got the ram sitting in here, and then this little plate's gonna go over the top of it. This little plate goes down here and kind of protects the diff cover, so it just closes that gap. Now the ram, ideally you want that to be behind where the knuckles mount the steering, because it's going to look funny when you're going straight because that angle is going to be out like this, but where you want your strength is at full lock when you turn. So when you turn, you want that to be straight because that's where it's at its strongest. So I've pushed that back as far as possible and I've tacked that up, so now I'm going to weld that up, and then we should be pretty much set with this axle, and we'll move on to the rear. Alright, we got our BleepinJeep alignment tools right there. We're going to use that to set up the steering, but I'm still waiting on a part for the PSC ram right there. Other than that, we've almost got this axle finished. Then we're going to start working on the rear axle right there, and then we're going to be able to move these in the next video, and we're going to start putting them and mounting them and get them mocked up for the Jeep over here. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to end this video right here. Make sure to check out these videos. We'll see you in the next one.